Hi guys, Lane here. It has been a while since I actually have my voice on a video, so if there are things that don't go well, I apologize first and I hope the message I'm trying to deliver will still be there. Anyway, let's talk Ultimate Sharen. Now at some point, we will have the option to go and farm her, and when Ultimate Sharen is there to use, you will get to play another two of her modules, which are Area Suppressions and Ambush. In this video, I will show you how I usually play Area Suppressions in terms of mopping as well as bossing generally. There will be more than one build, so whatever builds you are comfortable with, then feel free to go for it. For Commoner, let's start with the easiest one. Slayer is the go-to for Sharen when it comes to damage. We can never go wrong with it, as there are only a handful of components we can play around for Sharen at the moment. If they add another component that can really out-damage Slayer, then I can see myself leaving Slayer behind, but for now, nothing really can beat it. Component cores are easy, we just have to pump up HP and defense or some elemental resistance. With the core implemented, we will not have to use the HP mod, which I will go over the modules later on. Now another component to consider is Hunter, which provides extra cooldown not only for your spin, but also your invis. This set will be useful if you are looking for a spamming Sharen rather than a damaged Sharen. You can choose a playstyle that is comfortable for you to use, then we will go from there. For weapon, nothing really can beat Blue Beetle overall. Good static gun for Sharen, provides extra crit rate. We don't even have to build the gun properly because skill power is all we need. If anything, I would recommend bringing one Blue Beetle and one Secret Garden because Secret Garden will be helpful to move around with lower grappling hooks. But that is just for me. Blue Beetle alone will be more than enough also. For Reactor, this is where things will be a little tricky because there is no best build out there in my opinion. It all comes down to what kind of playstyle you want your Sharen to be. For spamming Sharen, crit damage and CDR will be very lovely. On top of the extra CDR coming from Archy Tuning and Hunter set, this Reactor will for sure give you a max 90% cooldown reductions, which is lovely for spamming as well as getting yourself back to invis as soon as possible. For damage Sharen, the common Reactor is crit damage and fusion skill power. However, if you have time to grind for Reactor, I will highly recommend crit damage and skill attack against each type of enemy. The reason is because I want to have the highest damage possible, which basically means 1 to 2 shots per elite or boss. Module-wise, the build for Area Suppression Sharen is pretty straightforward. You will need two things, crit and cooldown reduction. With that in mind, we will end up with 8 module slots for her. We only have 2 spots left to play around with the build, so usually gold modules are the go-to. Dangerous Ambush and MP Recovery are very good as we will increase the damage while keeping our MP healthy at the same time. Again, with component cores, you don't really need to use the HP mod. However, if you still do not have the core component unlocked, then HP mod instead of either one of the two will be just fine. The reason why Skill Insight is there even though we have Blue Beetle is because with the damage build, I don't get to be invis all the time, so I have to rely on the crit rate without invis. However, for spamming approach, since you cast invis quite often with 2-second cooldown, you can leave out Skill Insight and use HP mod instead. For Archy Tuning, we do have some builds you can consider, from 1 mutant cells to double mutant cells. These are the mutant cells you can use to help increase your damage even more. Electric Cohesion is very lovely compared to other mutant cells. However, the downside of it is if you are fighting bosses and there are no mobs around, then you really cannot use the cells anymore. Other than that, the extra electric skill power boost is very nice. Here are some builds you can use. They are good in their own way, so whichever fits your need, then feel free to use it. I've heard some people consider using skill range for area suppression simply because of more coverage, but I personally will not recommend doing so because skill range goes against the damage part of area suppressions. The way we should play is to go real close to the enemy, and that is when area suppressions will do the highest damage out there. So skill range really does not help at all in this case, whether you are using damage build or spamming build. Long story short, you can use skill range if that is something you personally like to use, but it is not necessary. And that should be pretty much it for area suppressions. I try my best to cover everything as well as giving some possible build to people out there who are new to Ultimate Sharen. Let me know what you think of it. As usual, thank you all for stopping by, supporting my videos, and good luck grinding.